One's in the trench.
Oh, holy shit, that was nutty, dude.
In the trench.
Yeah, I got him. Hey, what is up, guys? My name is Nate, and welcome to my first World War II gameplay on this channel. So, if you didn't know, the beta for PS4 is going on right now. When this uploads, I believe it'll be finished, and then we have to wait another week for it to be up again. I don't know exactly how many hours I have in the game so far, but I believe it's probably close to 10. So in this video, I kind of wanted to just talk about what I think about the game so far, and really if I just think it's going to be a successful Call of Duty. But before I get into any of that, I want to say something that I don't think a lot of people realize, because I keep on seeing it pop up all the time on my Twitter feed, and that is whether or not PC is getting a beta, and they are getting a beta, or I should say we are getting a beta. Michael Condrey, I don't know if he's like the lead developer of or for Sledgehammer, or what part he plays in Sledgehammer. All I know is he plays some huge part in Sledgehammer. I never actually looked up what he does, but on Reddit he did confirm that PC will be getting a beta, but I believe you will have to pre-order the game. But even if you're gonna have to pre-order it, I'm sure after the beta is done you're probably gonna be able to refund it. So I wanted to announce that to really get the word out that we are going to have a beta, because I want to get as many players in the beta as possible to make the actual release of the game as good as possible. I don't know when the beta actually is going to be for PC. He hasn't announced that, but really I'm not that worried about it. I'm just happy that he finally announced that there will be a beta for PC, which is so relieving, dude. Anyways, so the gameplay that you're probably going to be watching right now is me playing War on I think the only war map that they had available, and I think this is the only game I played of War the entire time. And honestly, I'm not really a huge fan of it. I think I'm gonna stick with like most of the common game types that usually come with Call of Duty. You know, I might play a little bit more hardpoint, but I'm mostly gonna stick with domination, TDM, if they have like kill confirm, stuff like that. But I might end up giving War a chance in the future. I don't know. Anyways, in the beginning, you'll see that I got a clean quad feed, which was super lucky. Honestly, it was so lucky that like everybody just happened to be peeking me. That's one thing in this game, and I was just really lucky that one of the shots happened to be collateral, because I don't know if Kenny mentioned it in one of his videos he's already uploaded yet, but the feed in this game is really fast. I definitely think that's one thing they're going to change off of all the opinions from the beta that are going to go into the full release of the game, or even just the next beta that's coming out in a week, is that the feed needs to be slowed down just a little bit, or maybe not even a little bit. It could be slowed down quite a bit. Like, it is really fast. I saw Kenny got a clip in one of his videos that like in pretty much any other Call of Duty would have been a clean quad feed, but it was only a triple. And I know a lot of other people are having a hard time getting really long clean feeds as well. Like, I don't know if I've even seen a quad feed on Pamaj or Sprat's channel yet. Not trying to boast or anything, just trying to like show it's really difficult to get long feeds. So starting with that, I guess I should probably just keep going with the things that I think need to be fixed or changed. So along with the feed, I definitely think that the SMGs need to be nerfed, or just something needs to go on there. Because just playing this beta, the SMGs just destroy everything. Like nothing even really has a chance. The STG, which is an assault rifle, that is pretty good. But like if you're in medium or close range, a PPSH or really any of the submachine guns are just going to instant kill you, melt you. Like, you have no chance. And I feel like this is a thing that Call of Duty struggled with a lot, is trying to balance like ARs, SMGs, and LMGs all together. And in my opinion, I thought Black Ops 2 did it really well with adding the stock attachment to where you could have it on your ARs and your LMGs. Like, it just made them so much more, it made them a lot more useful in a lot more gunfights. Instead of just like super long range battles, you could actually have a chance against an SMG that was pretty close up. It wasn't like it made it just as good as the SMG, but it was just a really good balance. And then in this game, it feels like, especially the LMGs are so unbelievably slow, and their ADS time is, I mean, if you're close to an SMG, even an AR, you have no chance of killing that person first with an LMG, unless you just hip fire them, because the ADS with those is slower than I think any Call of Duty ever. The only other Call of Duty I could really compare it to is Modern Warfare 3 when you used an LMG without quick draw or anything. Those were really slow, but I think these are even slower than that. Like, I think really the ADS time needs to be raised a little bit on pretty much everything. Snipers aiming pretty slow, ARs aiming pretty slow, LMGs aiming insanely slow. SMGs, I think it should really stay the same because they're already so powerful, but everything else needs a buff or the SMGs need a nerf in some way. The third thing, at least I think the third thing, is something that was getting really annoying to me and Kenny when we were playing, and that is that you can get, I guess it's called shell shocked when your teammate throws a grenade at you. And I remember in the past, like this used to like shake your screen and stuff, but it wasn't that big of a deal. But now in this game, if you get shell shocked from a teammate's grenade, you like can't move your aim at all, and your character can barely move at all, which I just don't really understand. So a big problem that me and Kenny were running into is when we were playing the war mode and I was trying to defuse an objective or plant an objective, and some teammate threw a grenade on it, I just could not move, and it was happening over and over again, and it was triggering us so much because it's like your teammates are trying to help you by throwing grenades on it and killing the enemy, but at the same time they're just completely screwing you. And on top of that, of course, people are going to use this to their advantage and like troll you if they wanted to. I'm sure there's probably going to be a way to have like 2 grenades set for a class or a division, whatever it is, and then people can just go around and throw grenades at you and you won't be able to move. So I definitely think that needs to be changed in some way. I've seen a ton of people complaining about that because it honestly is just probably the most annoying thing in the game right now. But moving on, and probably the last thing that was really like super obvious to me that was either broken or I think just needs to be changed was the pistols. Now, one of the gameplays that you're probably going to watch in this video is not a good example of what I'm trying to talk about because I sniped like 2 people across the map with the Luger or whatever the heck it is. But the pistols in this game, their fire cap is horrible. It is so slow. I was talking to one of my friends on Steam, and I think I could probably click my mouse probably 3 times in the time that it takes to shoot 1 bullet with the pistols. I don't really know why they made it so slow, but that just really didn't make much sense to me. So I don't know if they did that on purpose and you know they did it for some reason that I'm not aware of, but I'm kind of hoping that they change it in the future because, well, I couldn't make any more trigger finger videos for one, and those for whatever reason do insanely well. But at the same time, it really just kind of holds you back, especially if you're in like a really close battle and you just want to click as fast as you can and like kill the person really quickly. You just can't do that because the fire cap is so insanely slow. But now I kind of want to talk about the things that I actually do like with the game. This commentary is already getting so long, but I actually enjoy the game quite a bit. And that's a really good sign because I am playing it on console and I am not a console player. I absolutely hate playing on 60 FPS, 65 FOV. Like I just hate it. It's not, I'm not trying to diss console players. It's just I'm so used to PC now that going back to console kind of sucks for me. But playing on console for these 2 or 3 days, whatever it was, I was actually having a lot of fun, which is saying a lot. So first of all, the overall gunplay was actually really good. If they just fix the ADS time and maybe nerf the SMGs, like it's gonna be so good. The gunplay, in my opinion, is pretty close to, I would say, like, it's kind of like a mix of MW3 and IW. And I know that's probably going to sound really bad to you guys, but the reg gunning in IW was actually really good. You know, you can say the overall game wasn't very good, but the reg gunning in that game I felt was just really good. Along with that, the sniping in the game also feels really good. I had a few people saying that they were getting a ton of hit markers, which I didn't really notice all that much, but watching some gameplays, people were getting a lot of tags. That, and also the ADSing is a little slow. Like if they could speed it up just a little bit, sniper rifles would be a lot more useful. So honestly, if they just do a few tweaks to it, it's going to be amazing. The next thing would probably be the maps. Now, I'm not really on either side with this. Like, the maps aren't really bad, but I wouldn't really say they're really good. The one map that I went 21-1 on, that map has so many head glitches, but it still seems to flow pretty well, actually. I just wish there wasn't so many head glitches, because, like, it's actually pretty difficult to move up without running into some dude who's just sitting on a head glitch and you can barely see him. And then there's a snow map, which I already know is going to be really good for sniper clips. The middle of the map is just like one huge alleyway, and I've already seen a few different YouTubers get clips on that map, including Kenny. But at the same time, that middle of the map drops your frames like crazy. And I'm playing on PS4, I'm not playing on PC. And on PS4, I could feel the frames drop down to like 30 or 40 when I was in the middle of the map playing there, which is not a good sign for PC. You don't notice it as much on console because you're locked at 60 frames, and going down from 60 frames to like 40 frames, it doesn't feel that much different. But like if you're on PC and you're playing at 120 frames and then you go down to 50 or 40, it's a huge difference. You can feel it and it's very obvious. And then I believe there's two other maps. There was like a trench map, and then I think the only other one was the war map. And both of those maps are okay, I guess. The trench one I can feel is probably going to be SMG and shotgun dominated, just absolutely dominated. And then the war map is pretty meh. I don't know. I honestly don't know if I'm going to be playing much of the war because I didn't really like it that much. What else can I mention? I guess the graphics, that's another thing. I mean, I can't really say much about the graphics because the options you're going to have on PC are a lot different, but on PS4 they looked pretty good. People were saying that the textures were washed out. I'm not real sure what they're talking about, but overall I think the game actually looks really good. I don't think it's too grayed down like Ghost was, but I also don't think it's like way too colorful. I think overall it's just a really good looking game. The Division setup that now has taken over the Creator class system, it is pretty good, I guess. I mean, it's really just, you just have to pick a certain division for every class that you make. And there's a few things that are a little worrying, like for instance, when you get shell shocked by one of your teammates, there's actually one of the divisions that has like a perk to get rid of this. But then the thing is, to get that perk, you have to have that division, which is the LMG division. And that's the only time you can ever use that perk, which, I don't know, I just didn't really like that. It seems like that's going to become kind of useless. But overall, I'm not real sure how they're going to work, because for every division, you can like rank it up and you get kind of like extra perks. Like you can run faster, you can shoot while you're running, stuff like that. So I'm not real sure how all that's going to work, but I guess we'll see in the full game, because you really can't unlock all that much in the beta. I guess lastly would really just be the score streaks, and then I guess maybe customization. So the score streaks looked like, to be honest, the score streaks look like they might be decent, but I'm not real sure. Like I said, in the beta, you can't unlock too much stuff. But overall, the things that they had available were okay. Like they had an artillery strike, which is basically kind of like a lightning strike and all that stuff that was in the past Call of Duties. And then they also had that kill streak that I cannot remember what it's called, but it's basically like the Hellstorm or Predator missile in the past Call of Duties. And then the normal UAV on all that stuff, care package. And then also they had the paratroopers, which I was trying to get, and I was really close to it one game, but I ended up failing. And I don't remember exactly how those work, but I'm pretty sure it's kind of like dogs in past Call of Duties, or RAPs, whatever. I did not see any kind of like Blackbird or Orbital or anything like that. So I'm really hoping that they have that in the full game, because that would be really nice. And actually that reminds me, from what I saw from the beta, there is no actual physical nuke. There is a nuclear medal, just like in the Treyarch Call of Duties, but I didn't see any kind of nuke, which is, if there isn't actually a nuke in the full game, that's pretty disappointing. As much as I love getting nuclears, getting a physical nuke like an MW3 or, you know, MW2, even IW, it was just so much better than getting a nuclear medal. But either way, and probably the last thing, not that it's like super important, but there is quite a bit of customization. In the beta, they didn't have anything for like weapon camos or anything like that, but I'm sure they will be in the full game. I just don't know what they're like. But in the beta, like you could change your face and all that stuff, and I'm sure they're going to be able to change like your uniform and all that stuff as well, just like the past Call of Duties. I'm hoping it actually is really cool instead of like in MWR. In MWR, you just had like a whole bunch of different camos that like barely made a difference on your uniform, and I didn't really like that. So hopefully they actually make them interesting. But overall, just to kind of sum it up, because this commentary has been going on forever, I think the game is actually going to be a lot of fun. I mean, just the fact that I was having a lot of fun on console with it is such a good sign that I'm going to enjoy it on PC. And the fact that they're having a beta for it It's also a good sign that they're actually putting effort into the PC version, which will be amazing because, man, in the past few years, it seems like Treyarch is the only one that really gives a crap about PC. So hopefully Sledgehammer will actually turn that around. But anyways, guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.